Hey you're super. Hey merch hunters, wanted to show off this white beard robe that my wife got me off Instagram and this Luffy shirt that I got for Christmas. Boom. Good evening merch hunters. Merch Hunter Ricky back, and we are talking about Fabricant 100 chapters 11 and 12. Now, I'm not going to get into titles or anything like that. I will give the rating right off the jump. I think chapter 11 was a decent chapter, very strong, kind of boring, but not to the point where you're thinking it's dragging along, so I'm going to give it a straight up 80. And then chapter 12, it's a 100. And let's get into it. So chapter 11, we finally get the guy's name. I've already said it in previous videos. Just give us a name. Give us a name, please. What is his name? And of course, I'm talking about Luca's little companion with the Gojo-looking hairstyle. His name is Hugo. So one time for my man Hugo. And okay, so what I like about him already is that the first thing he did was explain to Ashibi, like, hey, so I'm here to evaluate you and let you into Mort Safe officially. You know, you've already been accepted by the boss. However, to get the badge, and he shows this little badge that Ashibi says it looks cool, and I immediately question Ashibi's taste because it looks like a regular badge. Anyways, right off the jump, he's explaining to him, Hugo is explaining to Ashibi, listen up, I kind of have an issue with you. I don't really have a problem with you working for with the Fabricant. What I have a problem is letting her do all the dirty work for you. So what do? You stand in the background and you let Fabricant pound them into dust? That's not going to fly with me. I work like a dog, and I'm over here lumped in the same category as you, letting Fabricant 100 do all the dirty work. So, here's what we're going to do. You're going to show me that you don't need her to solve every problem for you, and I'll give you the badge. Welcome you officially into Mort Safe, and we're on a mission right now. We're at the edge of the forest. It looks like they're in front of a mansion, when all of a sudden a dude a regular man just goes flying down this hill towards them, and he's clearly been shot, or he gets shot and goes flying down the hill, one or the other. And right away he's like, please save my sister, she's in the mansion. And the dude is dying, probably dead by now. Immediately they explain, or Hugo explains, that the Fabricant in question is a gentleman with special eyes who likes to vet children and kidnap them for later use of their body, much like the equivalent exchange deal of Fabricant 100 and Ashibi, like we saw previously with Roxy and her dirty Fabricant who turned on her. So right away he starts shooting, and I mean he starts gunning for them. Hugo wipes all the bullets away with his hand and immediately goes into the mansion. And I'm just going from chapter 11 to chapter 12 off the jump. The only thing that I left out of chapter 11 is that Ashibi makes a pact with Hugo to learn how to be as strong and as superhuman as Hugo, so that he can be better equipped to deal with Fabricants without the use of Fabricant 100. And that's pretty much the end of chapter 11. That's why I said it's a good chapter, it's just not an amazing one, right? Also, they give a whole star system, and we find out Luca is the top 5-star rank or 6-star rank, whatever the max stars is, yada yada yada. Not important. What is important is, I think it was at the beginning of chapter 12 or at the beginning of chapter 11, I think chapter 12 though, where they show that Fabricant that they're about to go up against with the special eyes talking to a girl that looks almost identical to the leader of Mort Safe. We'll deal with that later. So they're in the mansion. Right before they go into the mansion and Hugo wipes all the bullets away, Fabricant 100 takes a pebble and flicks it with bullet strength, sniper rifle strength, right back at the Fabricant who's sniping at them. And it blasts him in the eye. Hugo immediately tries to take opportunity of that. And unfortunately, this Fabricant has already pegged Ashibi for being a Yao. And furthermore, he has the ability to recuperate very quickly. He regenerated the wound almost immediately, so before Hugo could actually get a hit in, and he uses a knife for his fighting style, it looks pretty cool, he just gets punched, or no, he gets gun stock barreled right in the chest by that Fabricant's rifle, and Fabricant sends that Fabricant, we're going to call him the Eye Fabricant. Eye Fabricant hits him in the chest with his gun and sends Hugo right into the wall. When Ashibi and Fabricant 100 make it into the scene, he explains that he's pretty confident in his abilities to take Fabricant 100 on, which is honestly like, more power to you, bro. Let's see you give her a good fight, right? I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. I really, really want to see Fabricant 100 have to work for her pay, so to speak. And he also reveals at the end of the chapter, like, oh, Ashibi, you didn't think for a second that while you were making that plea bargain with Fabricant 100 that maybe a couple other Fabricants didn't made it out with a couple of your family members' body parts? And he's clearly one of them. He's bluffing, but I don't think he would bluff about something like that, because why would a Fabricant need to lie, you know? So right off the jump, he is just blasting Ashibi mentally. And this is that's why, like, I think a video or two back, maybe just one, I said Ashibi's gonna go crazy, because at a certain point he is going to have to come to the realization, and a couple of you have mentioned this in the comments previously too, Ashibi's gonna have to draw a line. When does working with Fabricant 100 no longer coincide with his actual goal of wiping out all the Fabricants? She is a Fabricant herself, so she's capable of wiping out as many Fabricants as possible. However, she is going to take his body, and there will be one Fabricant in the world. Actually, no, there will be 2 Fabricants left in the world unless she kills Fabricant number 1. So, that being said, Ashibi will have to draw that line in the sand soon. But for what we got right now, we have a miraculous and beautiful situation on our hands of a potential worthy opponent for Fabricant 100, to where she doesn't just pick them up by the throat, throw them into the air, and claw them into a million smithereens like she did to all the other Fabricants. So at the moment, the Fabri counter is at 24 still, and we're potentially looking down the barrel of 25. What I think is going to happen. So this guy has those special eyes. He might as well have the Sharingan. He can just see through Ashibi's everything, his mind and body. So that's kind of why I'm wondering, hey, does he simply know that Ashibi is a Yao family member, or was he there straight up that night when the Yao family got massacred? Now, I saw a lot of people give Fabricant 100 a bad rating because they don't explain what happens to the Yao family. Well, guess what? You guys were impatient. Sorry. We just found out now, and it's only 12 chapters in, so to say that that's taken too long is completely and utterly a lie. It didn't take too long. The story has had near perfect pacing this entire time, with the only drag, in my opinion, being the last chapter, because it just feels like Hugo crapped out a lot of information. You need a badge. There's a star system. I don't like the way you fight, Ashibi. A lot of stuff that I didn't feel was necessary to dealing with that Fabricant in the house. However, it wasn't anything to take away from the story, and it wasn't anything to bore me. It was just one of those things where I was just a little taken aback. So that's the only reason why I rated it like I rated it, as an 80, as opposed to giving Chapter 12 a straight 100. And what I'm almost positive is going to happen is that Ashibi and Hugo are going to have to work together to take down this Fabricant if he can get the upper hand on Fabricant 100. Now, I don't really see that happening. I'm foreseeing personally that Fabricant 100 is going to destroy this guy, even if it does take a little bit of extra time. The fact that he even said he thinks he's a match for Fabricant 100 makes me realize that he probably is not. And I just thought of that while talking to you guys here. Anyways, great chapter, great series. I really like the way this series is headed. Like I said, every time I've made a guess on the longevity of the series, I've been pleasantly surprised. I've been wrong, I think, once, and not necessarily right, but not necessarily wrong, not necessarily right, but not necessarily wrong about another idea. So I'm going to have to go back and review some of my old videos on Fabricant 100, and I'm going to see what my predictions were, and we'll make an update on Chapter 13, okay? But for now, that's been the video. I've been Merch Hunter Ricky. I want to wish you all a great evening. Thank you for watching, and have a good one. And as always, like and subscribe to be part of the Merch Hunting tribe. Thanks. Have a good one.